guys, what's up? It's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can grow your clientele using Instagram. Everybody always thinks that you have to have thousands of followers in order to actually get clients on Instagram. And that's true. There is definitely a competitive advantage of having thousands of followers. People look at that and they see that. There's no doubt. They're like, oh my gosh, this person, everybody wants to see this person. I need to see this person too. However, you can absolutely, in 2019, grow your clientele from scratch using Instagram, and this is how. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lauren Francis Green, international educator, former salon owner, and technique creator. Today I'm going to share with you some really important business techniques in marketing on Instagram. So if that interests you, make sure to keep watching and let's get into it. One thing you have to realize too is growing an Instagram presence and growing a business are two completely different jobs. They're both interconnected and they definitely help each other out, but they're two completely separate jobs. So today I really want to focus on building a clientele from scratch using Instagram. A lot of people don't know this, but I started my salon in Seattle and I only had about 500 followers to start. This was just a couple years ago. I booked myself solid within about 3 to 5 months of starting my business, and a major part of that was Instagram. So I could talk about this subject for days, but I'm gonna narrow it down to 3 of what I think are the most important strategies for getting clients in the chair using Instagram. So the most important thing to being successful on Instagram is you need to create good content. I know this seems obvious, but I'm gonna explain to you how to create good content with that purpose in mind of gaining a clientele. Here's how. So when someone comes to your Instagram page, they wanna see the most beautiful hair they've ever seen and the most beautiful people that they've ever seen. Before, it used to be about ads. You would watch, a commercial and you'd see gorgeous models or celebrities that you're like, oh my God, I have to have hair like them. Now, people are really into stuff that looks more real, stuff that looks more organic, and just everyday life, but still beautiful people. So what you're gonna wanna do is have gorgeous people and gorgeous hair on your Instagram. So the way you can do that, if you don't have any clients yet, and even if you do have clients, a lot of times in the beginning, you're doing clients where you're just trying to get them in the door. So you're kind of taking all different types of hair that come into you, and you're not necessarily able to create gorgeous hair on the first try. So it takes a long time to kind of build that portfolio on Instagram. So what I did in the beginning was I actually worked for free. But I did it strategically. A lot of people in this industry feel like, oh, you know what, I know my value, I'm not gonna work for free. That is just the wrong attitude to have, especially if you're just starting out and you need to build, your clientele and following. So what I did is I actually went out and sought models that were gonna look great on my page, who already had beautiful hair and who I knew I could make gorgeous transformations on. And then the way that I did that was I used Craigslist, I used Instagram. Sometimes I would just find people and message them on Instagram. I used all kinds of different tactics because I wasn't afraid to fail. What's the worst they can say to me is no. I just didn't really care. So I used Craigslist, I used Instagram. I would go out on the streets and look for people. When I first just started doing hair, I got really used to doing that because I had no clientele whatsoever. So I would go up and down the streets of Seattle and just ask random people who I thought had nice hair that I wanted to work on. And it was so intimidating, but oh my gosh, if you can master this skill, you are gonna be so successful. This is probably the most important thing. But the important thing to remember is you don't want to do just any model, not just anybody who wants their hair done for free. You want to make it specifically targeted to people who are going to look great on your portfolio and deliver, that content that you want to have on your portfolio on Instagram. And the point of this is once you are starting to get discovered on Instagram and you bring them to your profile, you want to make sure that it is pristine, it's set up, and it's going to close the deal for them. You don't want them to come to your profile and then think, that's all right. If you are lucky enough to get someone to look at your profile, they need to be sold. So that's the point of having gorgeous hair and gorgeous models on your Instagram profile. So the second thing that you want to do to attract clients on Instagram is to be informative. So remember, the whole point of us using Instagram is trying to attract clients. So what do clients want to know when they come to your Instagram? Those are the things that you need to be including in your captions, in your bio. So the more informative you are, the more clients feel like they can trust you because you're an authority on the subject that they want to pay you for. They also want to know that you're going to be able to address their most intimate, deepest concerns about doing hair. It sounds cheesy, but hair changes the way people feel about themselves, and it can either make them feel really, really good, or it can make them extremely insecure. So on your page, you want to be making sure that you are being informative and kind of dousing all those fires of insecurity that typically start to come up when thinking about doing your hair. For example, I know that, people hate brassy blonde. You hear that word all the time, brassy blonde. So I always try to do informative posts where in my caption, I was talking about, this is what I do to combat brassy blondes, and this is how I, tone it out. This is what I do to maintain blondes, to keep them from going brassy. So the more informative you are about your process, about exactly what you're doing, the more you are creating an environment where people come to your page and they think, wow, this person is an authority on this subject. They're going to help me minimize all the insecurities that I had, all the concerns I had about getting my hair done. So I used to think that if I was super informative, then other stylists are gonna copy my techniques and people are just gonna steal my ideas, and I will leave nothing to be desired and people really won't want anything more from me. But what I found was the complete opposite. The more informative I was, the more people had questions, and therefore they start engaging in your profile more, and then other people looking at those posts are seeing you answer all of these questions, and they're like, okay, so those are some questions that I had, and now I'm seeing the answers to them. I'm feeling more confident about coming to this person to get my hair done. So that leads me to kind of a subcategory about being informative. Whenever you do a post on Instagram, make sure that you dedicate about 10 minutes to answering any questions that people have, because people want to know that you are responsive to them. If they have problems, you're going to be there for them. They want to feel secure. So make sure that every time you do a post, you're leaving about 10 minutes, like you make time to do this post and answer all of the questions that people have for you in the DMs and in the comment section. The third tip that I think is super important is hashtags. Everybody knows that hashtags are important, but how do you tailor them to getting clients rather than just throwing them out there and who knows what exactly they're doing for your posts? So my best advice for someone who is starting to build their clientele and wanting to use Instagram as their platform is to target local audiences. A lot of people tag hashtag modern salon, hashtag behind the chair, hashtag this, hashtag that, all these really, really big hashtags that have millions and millions and millions of posts, but it's very unlikely that you're gonna get clients by doing that. So I would focus your hashtags more on local and things that are going to bring clients to you in your area. Once you start local, then you could kind of branch out and trying to get more, national influence. But if you're trying to just first start out with building your clientele, concentrate on the local. Think about all the events that are going on. For example, if you live anywhere near Coachella, you better be tagging that in your geotag and in your hashtags, but specifically, about what your niche is. Like you're doing hair, you're doing color for Coachella, whatever. Well, I was doing hair in Lake Forest, California. So I would tag stuff like Lake Forest Hairstylist, and then the surrounding cities that, people are likely to drive to from there, like Aliso Viejo. Just target those surrounding cities that have maybe a little bit higher population. Now, as far as specific hashtags you should be using, there are about 35 spots for hashtags. However, according to some of the research that I've done, if you do more than 10, Instagram starts kind of limiting your post and how much your post is seen, because it kind of acts a little bit spammy when you do that. So you want to narrow it down to about 10 to 15 hashtags. And as far as specific hashtags you want to be using, you want to use stuff that you would kind of naturally think about, like hashtag balayage artist, and attach your city name to it. And you want to research that hashtag before you use it. If there's maybe one post under the hashtag that you're searching, that's probably not going to be the best post. There might be a few people searching that hashtag, but more than likely it's kind of a dead hashtag. So I would use hashtags that maybe have, depending on how big your town is, that maybe have a few hundred hashtags on them. The goal here is to try to find hashtags that are being searched for a lot, because that's what people use Instagram for, like a search engine, like Pinterest a lot of the time. So what you're trying to do is target those keywords that people are looking for and attach your city's name to it. And you also want to make sure to include your geotag in your Instagram bio, because a lot of the times one of the main things that people are looking for is someone who's close to them. So if they go to your Instagram bio and they don't even see a location right away, sometimes they don't even bother looking at the rest of your profile or trying to figure out where you are. So first you want to target local, and then eventually, as you kind of get a local following, you could start trying to grow by branching out later. And here's a little bonus tip. I see a lot of hairstylists who are just starting out who try to emulate really, really famous hairstylists or really, really famous people and what they are posting on Instagram. But like, for example, if Beyonce posts a picture of her coffee, everybody cares because it's freaking Beyonce. They want to know what the heck she's doing, what the heck she's drinking. They're fans. So you want to save those types of posts for, for example, business is doing really good, you're starting to get a lot more following on Instagram, people are starting to wonder more intimate details about you because they're starting to become more interested in you. That's kind of when you would want to start posting stuff like that. But right in the beginning, you're focused on building that trust with good work, beautiful content, being helpful and informative. Remember, these tips are not going to necessarily grow your Instagram following to the thousands, but what it is going to do is develop trust and relationships with clients in your area to start building a reputation. Once you build that reputation and it starts getting stronger and stronger, then you want to focus on how you can expand your reach. You first have to start with a solid reputation where people are talking about you, there's buzz about you. And if you follow these tips, that's what you're going to be doing. Okay, so to recap, first thing you want to do is have beautiful content. So when people come to your page, they know, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I came here. This is exactly what I've been looking for. All this work is so beautiful. You want to have gorgeous content. You want to do that by finding models, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there looking for the exact models that you want to have on your page. The second thing is you want to be informative. So you want to make sure that when people come to your page, they're staying on your page because they're realizing that this person is telling me exactly what I want to hear, they're addressing all of my concerns, and I know that they're an authority in what they're doing, and I know I want to come to this person to get my hair done. And then, of course, that last one is hashtags. You want to make sure that you're targeting local and you're utilizing hashtags almost like a search engine for clients who are looking for services. I want to know what strategies you're going to try implementing, and when you do, make sure to tag me on Instagram so I could check it out at Lauren Francis Hair. Alright guys, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified about new content. It's my goal to give you guys a new video every single week, and I'm going to be covering subjects from hair and beauty business, Instagram marketing, to hair tutorials, and just kind of reviewing some of the most popular hair and beauty tools out there right now. So if that interests you, consider subscribing. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video.